my god.
A lot of the horror games I've covered take place in more modern day situations, if not also taking the futuristic sci-fi route. Both have shown a great library of games, but one series in particular I've never commented on is known famously now as Amnesia. Growing up, I watched Markiplier and basically everyone else you all know and love play the Amnesia games. Back then, they were idolized and praised as being some of the greatest horror classics ever made by man. Rightfully so, they're a great bunch made by developer Frictional Games, and it seems like every new installment adds something more intense than the last time. But believe it or not, The Bunker is the very first Amnesia game I ever played. Crazy for me to confess to that, but I figured now is a good time to talk more about Amnesia as a whole. The original games were famous for not being able to defend yourself, all the while dodging monsters, obstacles, and solving puzzles to get by. I remember how dark the Amnesia series was back then. It added that black veil of despair into the unknown that you can't always rely on, and you're forced to explore. Amnesia: The Bunker is a totally different story. Now keep in mind, since I've never really played the original Amnesia games, I'm not entirely sure if the storyline directly connects or correlates to a previous one, so forgive me if I make any mistakes. What I thought would be a decent horror game with a slow pace and confusing puzzles turned out to be one of the scariest games I've played all year. This game, holy fuck, guys, I'm beyond excited to talk about it. You play as Henri, a French soldier in World War II. During combat, Henri is separated from his friend Lambert. Right off the bat, we are shown that we can interact with specific items in the environment in order to find a means of defense or escape. Like throwing this heavy brick at that weak wooden door. Hey, look at that. It fucking broke? That's pretty cool. Henry's given a gun at the start of the game, but there's no ammunition. In the middle of a battlefield, this is anything but good news. Some doors scattered around will have the option to lock them, keeping some distance between you and another enemy, lest you encounter anything else within the walls of, well, we'll get there. Soon after surviving an ambush, Henri continues to run ahead in search of his friend. When he discovers Lambert in a massive pit, he slides down to try and carry him out. In one of the most climactic indie game introductions ever, Henri escorts his friend Lambert over his shoulder as hundreds of German voices and rifles fill the air. Your only choice is to run.
Schnell! Schnell! Da drüben! Da drüben! Da!
When Henri awakens, he finds that he is now somewhere else, somewhere hidden and dark, dusty, aged. It doesn't take too long to realize that we are now within the bunker's walls. Making our way further ahead, the game offers valuable tips for the player, like informing you that if you think something can be done, it probably can. Things like those ugly putrid holes in the walls can be plugged by dragging a box over them or something that covers it completely. A game where you do get to choose how you want to approach it. Fucking finally! But be cautious how you approach certain areas and situations, because you're not alone down here in the bunker. It's extremely dark, and our only light source is this dinky old-fashioned pump flashlight that requires you to pull a cable 3 times in total to get the brightest light. After a few seconds though, the light quickly fades away, inevitably causing you to have to wind it up over and over, creating a haunting echo throughout the halls of the bunker. Make too much noise, and you'll soon meet your visitor. Before we get to that though, Henri stumbles across a fallen soldier who looks badly wounded from something. He tells you that the only way out of the bunker is to blow the entrance with dynamite that's located somewhere in the excavation site. He begs for Henri to take his gun, find some ammo, and kill him before the creature does. Creature? What creature? The Beast is by far the scariest enemy I've encountered in a game in probably years. He's a ginormous creature that resembles something once human, now turned into a mutilated travesty. The Beast is the main enemy you will face while inside the bunker, at least for now. Henri must be cautious not to sprint, wind his flashlight, or make any sort of noise at all, lest the Beast comes after him and turns him into a pile of blood and guts. There's no fighting back against the Beast, only temporary distractions that you must create to get around him if he spots you. Things like flares, the gun, and grenades will be enough to keep him at bay for a short amount of time. You can fucking shoot the Beast. Granted, it only stuns him for a brief moment, but that's all you need to run the fuck away from the bastard. As of right now, I have no idea who or what the beast is. It appears to be some sort of soldier, trudging through the dark halls on all fours like a primate. Every slight noise you make within his vicinity is enough to make him come charging after you. Upon closer inspection, the beast actually has 2 sharp knives sticking out of his back, indicating a fallen soldier's desperate attempt to fight back. There is one safe place though, the safe room. Inside you can find an oil lamp that can be lit to save your current progress. Not far from it is a map of the bunker that reveals more details about the specific sectors inside and important areas that you should remember. But there are no objective screens, no white diamonds that show you where you have to go, there's not even a map screen for Christ's sakes. So I pulled a retro gaming move and decided to take pictures of the map every single time I explored a new area. If you go downstairs, you'll discover the generator. This is a very note-heavy game, as with the previous Amnesia titles. You'll have to do a lot of reading in order to get a good grasp of the story and what's going on, and what you'll have to do. One of the notes downstairs informs you that the generator must be powered with fuel at all times in order to keep the lights on inside the bunker. You'll also have to use the generator in order to access certain areas, but watch your time closely. Once the pocket watch hits 0, power will run out and you'll be stuck in the fucking shadows with that dumb flashlight. Even worse, the beast becomes way more active in the dark. Fuel is somewhat easy to find if you know where to look, and exploring the environment proves to have many advantages. You can find things like a pocket bag, which gives you more inventory carrying space, bullets for the gun, medical supplies, and if you run out of inventory space, you can always put things away in the item box. The item box? Holy fucking shit, this game is everything I've been wanting in terms of the horror genre for a long time. Honestly, this is the first Amnesia game I've ever sat down and played, and I can't stop. Even when I'm not playing the objective and I'm just looking around for supplies or getting used to the bunker's layout, I find myself having such a grand time. Evading the beast is an adrenaline-fueled rush, and believe me when I say he really is terrifying. Ah! Fucking Christ. So you might be wondering, what the fuck do I do? I'm stuck down in this rusty, dusty bunker surrounded by fucking rats and bricks and beasts. Well, like I said, the game doesn't really tell you flat out. When exploring the bunker, you're going to see a lot of items out of your reach that seem important. Different rooms are locked from the other side and thus encourages you to figure out the way through. Some doors can be completely blown open using explosives or heavy objects, which can create some noise and attract the beast, but it will also allow you to progress. It didn't take me too long to discover what I was looking for. A sequence of items after items in order to get out of the bunker. First, we need a hand wheel that is found inside one of the soldiers' lockers. Finding the locker codes is easier said than done, as they are located on the back of your fallen comrades' dog tags. Once you get the valve wheel, you can lift the emergency lockdown within the bunker. But now I need to find bolt cutters in order to access the tunnels area and claim the dynamite so I can blow my way out of here. Well, there's a pair of bolt cutters inside this prison cell where a German man is crying and begging for his life. I actually got really uncomfortable at this segment. We have no idea who this guy is or what he even looks like. He just pleads and begs to be saved from the beast. He even shouts warnings to you if the beast is about to approach, which can be handy. For some reason, we can't just waltz right through the jail cell door. In order to get the cutters, we of course first need to find a special wrench that allows us to access vents that are sealed off by bolts. Jesus, a scavenger hunt while the beast chases after you is definitely one of the greatest things about this game. But how do we get the wrench? Well, it's in the foreman's locker, so this means we'll have to find his dog tag along with the code in order to get it. His dog tag is located in the maintenance wing of the bunker. Henry must first walk into the chapel where the beast has created a massive, disgusting nest. In the closet, you'll find the pillbox key, which is the ticket to getting the foreman's dog tags. Once you get inside the pillbox though, you better crouch down quickly to avoid gunfire from the Germans. Now Henry has to get back to the locker room and grab the wrench. And I just discovered this. I'm gonna sound really ballsy with this, but please just hear me out. Guess what? You can find a note from Lambert, Henry's friend from the beginning, inside the chapel. After listening to the audio, you get the feeling that something was very wrong with the water that Lambert had drank when he fell into the crater. Is Lambert the beast? The only reason I'm saying this is because why else would the beast have one of Lambert's notes? And how come we haven't seen Lambert's body anywhere within the bunker? Discovering this, I had goosebumps running down my fucking spine for 10 minutes. It might not be true, but holy shit, what a twist if it is. Your best friend turned into a massive bloodthirsty abomination, no longer human like before. Fuck me. Anyway, it's time to get the wrench. It's easier said than done though, because of the fucking beast. And all of these goddamn rats too. It's ridiculous that they're placed in this many areas. I can't say it's unrealistic though, it's just tough. I managed to get the key the first time, which took fucking forever, but I trapped myself in the rat tunnel and ended up getting eaten. Jesus fucking Joseph. And believe me, when you die and make so much progress just to go all the way back, you feel every minute. It can be frustrating having to redo an entire segment that you spent so long solving, but I kind of enjoy the trial and error aspect here. It's done well in the sense that the bunker is super easy to get lost in, and the beast is always right on your tail when he can be. Thankfully, Henry is given a plethora of items and traps to use against the beast. Be careful that Henry himself doesn't fall into one, otherwise his best friend comes back. I haven't said much about Henry, have I? That's because I don't know much about him as of writing this, but I know I admire his character. Henry risked his life to save Lambert, the fellow soldier from the beginning of the game. After an explosion had rendered Henry unconscious, Lambert carries him to the safety of the bunker. Henry can collect pages of his own diary throughout the bunker and offers a voiceover as a read-along. I enjoy playing as Henry, honestly, and they really nailed the aspect of not showing the protagonist's face but still giving him all sorts of internal colors to work with. And I lied, they do eventually show Henry's face. They also nailed the gameplay in general. Giving Henry a weapon is supposed to make the player feel powerful, but with the limited ammunition and the multiple holes located throughout the bunker, Henry is never safe, and the game reminds us of that often. Henry can block off the beast's entryways by carrying a heavy object like a barrel or gas tank. These will slow the creature down and give him fewer ways to surprise you. Keep in mind though, he can and will adapt. He can smash your barricades and sprint down the long hallways to try and find you quicker. You can craft new weapons, like the petrol bomb, but you'll need to find the lighter from one of the lockers in order to use them. Torches can also be used to lure away rats from a specific area, allowing you to proceed or grab an important item. But, once again, you need the lighter first. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I grabbed the fucking foreman's dog tag from the pillbox and proceeded to grab the special wrench needed to access the sealed off vents. Once he claims the wrench, Henry makes his way back to the prison. Remember that poor German guy who was locked up in a cell? Well, listen to this shit. In order to acquire the bolt cutters on the other side, Henry must have the power turned on and flip the switches in the main room. The cell door opens, but unfortunately our German friend meets the beast for a one-on-one chat. It's disturbing to think that Henry inadvertently murdered the German soldier, but what would you do in his shoes? Oh my god, I fucking killed him? Jesus Christ. I mean, it was either him or me, right? Like, there's nothing that I can do. I have to fucking get out of here. Like, that's my option. Once the guy is beast chow, you can quickly nab the bolt cutters. At this point, we have every single item we need to grab the detonator handle and blow the exit open for Henry to escape. Or you can explore the environment and unlock the other chained off areas for some more lore involved notes or supplies. You guys know me, I'm all about story. I was so invested in this one that I decided to gun it straight for the tunnels. This is when the game changes tactics very suddenly, and I love it all the more. Henry pumps the water out of the room and proceeds through the underground Roman tunnels. Seeing this area is a trip, especially since it looks much more vintage and medieval as compared to the bunker. The fog is very thick here, and a flashlight will only make your vision worse. It reminds me of Outlast 1. When Wayland Park is outside for the first time, the camcorder has the same effect. Suddenly, there's a voice. I should mention, you'll find a note on the table inside the tunnels from a man named Toussaint, a vagrant who has been trapped down here for a very long time. Trouble is, he's gone completely insane, murdering anyone who comes down into the Roman tunnels. This part of the game is so fucking interesting. The fog plays tricks with your mind, showing silhouettes and outlines of people or creatures that fuck with you over and over. So hunting Toussaint in the fog is not that simple. What you have to do is listen for his legitimate voice whenever he talks and sneak up behind him. Thankfully, he's only human, so he isn't that hard to take care of. All you need to do is get a well-placed headshot. Oh, oof. Oh, I fucking got him. After killing him, you can claim his pump-action shotgun. Now we're big fucking pimpin', and with the detonator handle in our possession, we can leave the bunker. Once he gets back to safety, Henry blows the bunker's entrance open. A hole appears in the floor. At first, I thought I would get an intense chase scene for an ending, or maybe a cutscene, but no. I got something far scarier and way more intense. Henry discovers a massive underground area with broken and rustic bridges suspended high in the air. Suddenly, the monster appears, and after a few minutes of trial and error, I discovered what you have to do. The beast shows up one last time to claim what is his, Henry. Using everything you have, you must fight off the beast, distract him, and lure him away from the massive statues in the center of the room. Henry will have to carefully and quickly move these big boxes into place so he can jump across the wall and escape. The problem is, even if you touch one of the boxes for half a second, the beast will auto-aggro on Henry no matter where he is. So it's definitely trial and error. I recommend taking your time and getting the beast as damaged and far away as possible to slow him down. Using barrels and boxes, you can create somewhat of a window to get the beast behind you. I will admit, this final showdown frustrated me a few times. It seemed no matter what I did, the beast was just too fast and too strong for me to deal with. I died a lot here, but that's not necessarily the game's fault.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, I killed myself. That was stupid. A tool's no good to you unless you have it in hand and ready to use. That's just common sense. Gee, thanks. The game gave me the middle finger for that. No, gun, gun! You like that shit? You like fucking fire? So sick of this fucking thing. Oh, I'm dead. Oh my god, what am I supposed to do? Why is this so difficult? I'm pissed because, like, he won't leave me alone. Every time I fucking throw something in a different direction or I fucking throw a Molotov at him, it does nothing. So what am I supposed to do? Oh, that did nothing to him. Fucking kill me. Just kill me, you fucking asshole. I'm so over this shit.
Some fucking how in some fucking way, I managed to jump over the wall. I almost got killed last second due to my poor timing skills, but thankfully I had one last bullet in my revolver. Editor's note, I just searched up how you're supposed to kill the beast at this segment. There's a way to kill the beast? Yeah, so I guess you're supposed to use the shotgun or an explosive on one of the weak wooden bridges while the monster is on top of it. This will cause him to fall and will give you the true ending achievement. Unfortunately, I was just too eager and scared and excited to notice that, so my bad. Henry takes off and sees a light in the distance. He claws his way out and falls directly into a trench. The beast comes charging after him, but ultimately doesn't know where he went. Then the sound of Germans can be heard nearby, and the game fades to black. Henry's story is now over. For the first ever Amnesia game I've tried, I gotta say, it's fucking magnificent. The atmosphere, the environment, the enemies, the traps, the lore, it's all so good. The game doesn't necessarily bank on cheap jump scares either. I mean, yeah, a few times I jumped out of my seat, but the fear factor comes into play knowing that the beast is always nearby and ready to strike. This is the first horror game I've played in a very long time that felt genuinely scary. Frictional Games has always added some sort of charm to their horror games, and this is definitely a bold adaptation. I can only hope they'll continue to make fantastic games in the series, all in different time jumps of history and locations. It's cool because it also has full controller support. Not that that's unheard of, but it feels much more responsive than the mouse and keyboard to me. Plus, the controller vibrates when the beast is nearby, giving you the advantage of waiting until it leaves without sacrificing your hiding spot. The beast was a terrifying presence, along with Toussaint and the rats. Avoiding them is like trying to convince yourself you can survive an oncoming 18-wheeler at 60 miles per hour. It's inevitable that you'll have to confront them, but I like it this way. I like the idea that you're never safe if you don't play your cards right or make the right move. After completing the game, the devs urge you to keep going and discover new things that you might have missed from before. Every playthrough is randomly generated as well, so items will spawn in other locations where they might not have before. I've waited far too long, guys, and I'm beyond happy I got to discuss this opportunity with you. If you haven't yet, please buy Amnesia: The Bunker. It is officially a badass sealed video game, giving some power to the player in terms of defense, but giving all of the advantage to the player in terms of how they want to play it. Not to mention the advantage the Beast and other horrors that await you in the darkness of the bunker have. Hell, there's even a fucking workshop for this game. Are you serious? The community can upload mods of the game in various different ways, like infinite ammo or even playing the first level of Doom, but within Amnesia? That's really fucking trippy. I'm gonna fucking play it again. That's how good it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I know I probably didn't talk about everything I could have, but please understand that this is a huge game, and I highly recommend you just play it for yourself. The Beast is terrifying, Henry's a great character, and Amnesia fucking rocks. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to our channel, and thanks for checking out this video. Leave a like, comment, and since we're on the subject, enjoy yourself. Thanks for watching the content, folks.